Hi, Life Group leaders. Thank you so much for the diligent way that you have all faithfully served over these many, many months. I'm so proud in the right sense of you all. We all are. I've heard of many other churches that sadly, for different reasons, their groups have struggled. But in this time, it seems like our group life has thrived with more people getting involved, more people able to share, more people able to connect, more loving one another happening amongst our groups. We've heard many, many stories. Are we perfect? No, of course we're not. But we are just encouraged by the progress that we're making in God. So thank you for playing your part in that. I want to say a few words with you now about discipleship. You see, God has been speaking to us as an eldership, as a leadership throughout this pandemic, that we need to strengthen our discipleship as a church to increase our intentionality about this whole process of spiritual formation to make strong and healthy disciples. The second part of our mission statement is to strengthen believers, and we want to powerfully strengthen believers, to make disciples, seeing people come to faith and then grow significantly in faith. So we've been talking with different church leaders, a number of them now on Zoom, getting their best practice, their tips, their advice, their experiences from churches in London, inside, outside of London, and inside and outside of our sphere of churches as well. And we'll continue to do that, as well as seeking to pray and to hear prophetically from God about what does He want us to do to take the best of what we've got, but to build stronger and healthier ways of doing discipleship. I felt God speak to me about this whilst I was preparing the message for Easter Sunday on Luke chapter 24. Maybe you know the passage fairly well. I hope you do. You've still got it in your mind from Sunday. Luke chapter 24 from verses 13 onwards. And this incredible encounter that these two discouraged and downcast disciples have with Jesus. It spoke to me actually about some principles for how we can go about discipleship. So firstly, that there's just two or three people together. Well, there's three in this situation, and there's sort of discipleship happening really at a level of 2 to 4 people. Seems to be a really key thing for us to get hold of and find ways that we can do that. So we're working on that now. We think we've got some great ideas that we want to hone first and talk to a few people about before we share more widely. But we think we need to recover a sense of a smaller group, a group within the life group structure, not necessarily limited to the people within your life group, but same-sex gathering of 2 to 4 people where you can meet. We're cautious about introducing that. We don't want to add more burden to people's busy lives already. So we're trying to find a way of how does that fit with the 12 to 14 size of group as well. So we're working on that. But Jesus clearly here is engaging in discipleship with 2 people, 3 of them in total. And it's this principle of coming alongside people, noticing whether that they're struggling or that they might need some help or support or encouragement. That's how Jesus goes about discipleship and walking together. Maybe it's literally doing that, going for a walk, a discipleship walk with other people in a group with just one other person maybe. Or it's doing that, if you like, metaphorically, walking, doing the Christian life together in different ways, some shoulder-to-shoulder quality discipleship. Then I noticed the way that Jesus is going about discipleship here. He's asking questions. He actually knows the answers. He could have told them all of what he knows. No, you need to do it like this. This is what's going on. But he chooses to ask questions. He asks 2 what questions. Open questions. What things? Tell me more. I'm listening. I'm curious. And in asking questions, he wants to help them process in order to make spiritual progress. His next question there is actually did the Christ have to come and suffer? Did the Christ? It's more of a leading question, a closed question, more specific question that almost has a yes or no answer to it, rather than this broad what question. As a lawyer, I was trained to ask closed questions when it's a witness that you're kind of wanting to lead in evidence. You want to take them on a particular direction and they're a witness for the other side. So you're going to put these closed questions. Were you there at this time? That kind of thing. When it's your own witness and they're kind of for your side, you want to draw evidence from them without leading them, so it's not corrupted by suggestions that you're making to them, so that you would ask the what, where, when, why, how questions. This is a really helpful way to go about discipleship. I hope you can see that, to come alongside and to gently probe. It's godly to probe in the right way. God asks questions. The first question in the Bible comes right at the start of the Bible. Where are you, Adam? God knew geographically where Adam was, but he wanted Adam to think about where he was, not just geographically, but spiritually. He was hiding from God. Why? Where are you at? Where are you at with me, God? Really good question for discipleship. Or next chapter, why are you angry, Cain? God wants us to process our emotions, to work through them, to understand, this is the emotional topsoil, or the stuff that's growing up above the surface, but what's deeper beneath it in the soil? What's at the roots of this? What's going on inside a person? Questions are so powerful. As life group leaders, we can ask powerful questions in a group context, but maybe we need to try and find ways to ask those questions at a more one-to-one or smaller group level as well. Then I noticed the content, that Jesus isn't really adding new content. He's putting the right pair of glasses on their eyes to help them to understand what they already know. They knew the scriptures, but they didn't know the scriptures. And I think this is really important for us in an age where we are fire hosed every day with just more and more information that's coming at us that we're not able to process. And you can do that spiritually too. You can lap up loads of podcasts and sermons over here by this person and that person, but neglect what God is saying through the appointed leaders of the local church in which he has providentially put you. I think it's really valuable to ask people questions about what they've heard of God, how they've seen Christ or God in the sermon that was preached on that Sunday. What did you engage with? What's God speaking to you about? Where is he challenging you to grow? What convicted you? Out of Andy's sermon on Sunday, those questions that he put to you, which one kind of went, oh, okay, that's the one. Yeah, now let's have a conversation about it. Let's talk. Let's try and sharpen each other spiritually around that. God is speaking to us. How can we grow in faith with him? Well, these are just some of the ideas that God is giving us prophetically through the scriptures, in addition to all these other ways that we're seeking to interact with other experienced church leaders, so that we can come back to you in good time and start to talk about a greater, better way that we can do discipleship more holistically as a church and grow for the glory of God. One final thing just to say before I finish is that coming up, we're starting a new leadership training model. We're calling it Lead Plus. That's because that's the most popular name for it we got from the survey we did a few weeks ago. And if you completed that, thank you very much for doing that. And it's going to be on a Thursday evening, 8 till 9:30 once a month, because that's the most popular time that people chose for it to happen. It's open to everybody, men and women, and it's open also to people because you can select yourself. You don't need to be invited to be on this course. If you feel stirrings into any form of leadership, we want people to join it. So if you've got interns, future leaders you think could lead in your life group, whether they could lead the life group you're leading or lead a ministry in the church or lead in their business, their place of work, things like that, encourage them to take part in it. The 29th of April, Thursday, the 29th of April, 8 to 9:30 will be the first session. We will get to hear from some outstanding leaders within the Commission family of churches, within our own church. It'll be interactive to learn and grow together, something to watch in advance of each session, then little clips to watch during the meeting, discuss together, and really help each other grow in the ways that God has called us to lead. That's to influence others for his glory. That's to steward what he's given on trust to each of us for his glory, that many, many more might come to know him. So thank you so much for giving up time tonight to listen to these words. And I do pray that God will continue to bless you in your leadership of your life group. It matters maybe even more than you know that you're blessing and touching the lives of these precious people entrusted to your care. And it pleases God so much that you're committed to doing this. Bless you. Bye.